Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to find a great deal in Toronto's real estate market as well as in Greater Toronto area. Trust me, with right strategies, it is possible. So here are the strategies on the screen I'm going to talk about. I'm going to go through each one of them, but before, let me introduce myself. My name is Amrit. I help buy and sell real estate in City of Toronto as well as in Greater Toronto area. If you have any questions about real estate, please feel free to book a call with me as per your convenient time by clicking on the first link mentioned in the description below. So now let's get right into it. Let's start with days on market. So I would suggest to look out for properties which have been sitting on market for quite some time. As of now in Toronto, the market has been slow, so you can come across many properties which have been sitting on market for a while, especially condos, because condos are not moving as fast as compared to freehold properties. So there's a tons of opportunities in condos right now. So as a buyer, you can go on realtor.ca website and check out when the property was listed or for how long the property has been listed. Or I can also look it up for you. Let me just share my screen. Now we're going to look for condos which have been sitting on market for quite some time. So I'm going to focus on CO1 and CO8 area, which is basically downtown Toronto. For a quick reference, I'll show you the map. So this is CO1 area and on the east side is CO8. So let's go back to the previous page and I'm going to put a filter on DOM, which is basically days on market. So I'm going to put 60 days. So once we put 60 days, if you see the count above, it's 441. So basically this means there are 441 condos in downtown Toronto which have been sitting on market for at least 60 days or more. So here's a list of condos which have been sitting on the market for more than 60 days. So chances are high the sellers of these listings will be pretty motivated. And if you want, I can send you these listings. You can put your information on the Google link I've mentioned in the description below. Don't worry, I won't send you any other information or any marketing material. All I'll send you is these listings. Now let's move ahead with the freehold properties. Now freehold properties are, so for freehold properties, I'm focusing on Toronto EO1 and WO1, which is east of DVP and west of Dufferin, that is WO1. The reason I'm focusing these two area codes is because that's where most of the freehold properties are. And if we see on the days of market, I've put minimum of 60 days and the number of properties are 25. So, and if you look at the list of freehold properties, most of them are on a higher price point, that is north of million. What I'm trying to say is condos, there are more opportunities because there are more listings and there are less listings as opposed to condos. So what I'm trying to say is there are more opportunities in condo segment as compared to freehold properties. Next is to look up for tenanted and unstaged properties. This reward comes with a risk because we have seen instances where the tenant refuses to leave even the property has been closed. I'm not saying this happens all the time, but we have seen situations where tenant refuses to leave, so you have to be very, very careful whenever you're targeting a tenanted property. Now let's check out how many tenanted properties are currently listed onto the market in downtown Toronto. So here we're going to focus on CO1 and CO8 area, which is downtown Toronto. And as of now in downtown Toronto, there are 2,263 active condo listings. Yes, quite a lot. And now I'm going to put a filter for a tenanted property. So here we go. So I click on tenant. And as of today, there are 752 active condo listings which have tenant in them. So these properties cannot be staged. So basically, they're not going to look as good as they could. Furthermore, tenanted properties get less competition, reason being if an investor buyer buys a tenanted property, then they have to assume the current tenant with the existing rental rate. So that's why overall buyer pool of these tenanted properties slightly smaller as the investor client tries to stay away from tenanted properties. Third is to look for keywords such as motivated seller on the listing. So again, we have a filter on the MLS system where we can filter this out. So I'm going to quickly show you that. So again, on the MLS, we are focusing on CO1 and CO8 area. So as of today, there are 2,264 listings as of now. And I'm going to put a filter which says remarks for brokers. So I'm going to put motivated. So if I put motivated, the number of listings comes down to 41. So there are 41 listings which says the seller is motivated. And let's do it next level, that is on the days on market. I'm going to put, let's say 30 days. So these are the listings which the sellers are saying they're motivated and they've been sitting on market for 30 days. So as a first time home buyer or maybe as an investor, I would target these properties because chances are very high they are open to negotiation in terms of pricing. Honestly, as a buyer in this market, you do have some leverage because all this while sellers are the one who've enjoyed multiple offer situations and they've had leverage. But now the tables have turned. So in this market, I would suggest throwing in an offer to these types of listings. You get it, that's great. And if you don't, in the worst case scenario, they're going to say no to you. So next up is foreclosure and power of sale. So first, let's understand the difference between them. So under foreclosure, whenever there's a default on payment, the lender is able to take the title of the property. Basically, they become the kind of owner. On the flip side, under power of sale, the lender is not able to take the title of the property. The original owner remains on to the title. Under foreclosure, the lender is able to sell the property at any amount. Basically, they're mainly focusing on recouping their own money and any legal fees. But on the flip side, under power of sale, the lender has to sell the property at fair market value. To be honest, we usually see the properties which under power of sale sell slightly less than the fair market value, but it's very situational. Because for example, I helped a client with a power of sale earlier this year. We were able to get a discount of $50,000, but in other scenarios I've seen where the property is sold at a fair market value. So it depends from situation to situation. Next is, we do not see many foreclosures happening in Ontario, but on the flip side, we do come across power of sales here and there in Ontario. So now let's check out how many power of sales are happening in the city of Toronto. So here we are. So we're going to look for power of sales for condos in downtown Toronto. So we're back at CO1 and CO8 area code. So I'm going to put the filter of power of sale, and after putting that, there are a number of 3 listings which are currently listed at power of sales. To be honest, this number might not be 100% accurate because in the listings, in the remarks, they might not write power of sales. So we are just giving you a heads up. Okay. So now let's go and check out what's happening in whole of Toronto proper. That is 416 area. So in whole of Toronto for condos, I'm going to put a filter again for power of sale. And there are 4 number of power of sales happening in whole of Toronto for condos. Now let's check out what's happening on freehold side of things. So for freehold properties in whole of Toronto, so let's put the filter again. And there are currently 8 listings under power of sale for freehold properties in whole of Toronto. Alright, I hope I was able to give you some value, and if I did, then please like, share and subscribe. That would really make my day. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video.